Hello, everyone. Thank you for visiting our channel. Today, let's embark on an exciting journey to explore the marvelous world of Japanese swords. I'm your guide, Akihiko. I hope you'll enjoy this video and find it truly captivating. The history of Japanese swords begins in ancient times. The first Japanese swords evolved from bronze swords to use iron. These ancient swords gradually evolved from practical weapons to ones with artistic value. During the Sengo period, Japanese swords were used as the main weapon of samurai. Sengo period warlords were particular about the sharpness and design of their swords, and sword technology evolved dramatically. Many famous swords were created during this period, and many of them are legendary. In the Edo period, Japan entered a period of relative peace. As a result, the Japanese sword changed from being a weapon of conflict to being valued for its aesthetic value. The beauty and decoration of the blade stood out, and the beauty of the blade, which was engraved with a pattern called hamon, was highly praised. In the modern era, the Japanese sword lost its role as a weapon and established itself as a cultural symbol. The beauty and historical value of Japanese swords have been re-evaluated both in Japan and abroad, and they have become loved by many people. One of the charms of Japanese swords is their beautiful blades. At first glance, you will be captivated by the sophisticated design of the Japanese sword. The curvaceous shape of the blade is one of the most distinctive features of Japanese swords, which makes them not just weapons, but also valuable works of art. The blade of a Japanese sword is engraved with a unique pattern called hamon. The blade pattern expresses the skill and artistry of the craftsman, and is extremely important when evaluating the quality of a Japanese sword. The beauty of the hamon represents the essence of a Japanese sword, and just looking at it will fill you with surprise and excitement. The hilt of a Japanese sword has a special wrapping. This pattern wrapping requires delicate craftsmanship and not only improves the grip of the pattern, but also enhances its beauty. The design and color of the handle wrap also contribute to the aesthetic value of the Japanese sword. Katana is a general category of Japanese swords. These swords were used as the main weapons of samurai, and there are many famous ones from the Sengo period to the Edo period. The blade is characterized by its beauty and sharpness, and it has both military use and value as a work of art. A tachi is a type of sword, and is particularly characterized by its large and long blade. The long sword was used as an ancient weapon, and its unique shape also makes it suitable for ceremonial use. The sword is sometimes used as a sacred symbol during rituals at Japanese shrines and temples. Wakizashi is a type of tanto with a relatively short blade and is convenient to carry. Wakizashi was suitable for personal defense and everyday life roles and was widely used by samurai and ordinary people. Wakizashi has a beautiful blade pattern and is highly artistic as a small sword. As the name suggests, famous swords refer to swords that are historically famous and highly regarded. These famous swords are associated with special military commanders and historical events, and their value is extremely high. Famous swords are respected as historical and cultural treasures. The production of a sword begins with the selection of high-quality iron. Blacksmiths combine different types of iron to form the center and spine of the blade. At this stage, the blacksmith carefully selects the quality of the iron and determines the characteristics of the sword. The forging process involves heating the selected iron to high temperatures and hammering it out to form the shape of the blade. During this process, the blacksmith creates the blade pattern and rim, hamon-jiri, of the sword. The blade pattern is an important element that determines the beauty and quality of the blade. To adjust the hardness and flexibility of the blade, the sword after forging is subjected to a special quenching process. The blacksmith heats the blade and rapidly cools it to give it hardness while leaving the back flexible. This balance greatly affects the sharpness and strength of the sword. Finishing the blade is the stage where the blade pattern stands out and brings out the beauty of the blade to its fullest extent. The blacksmith polishes and finishes the entire blade, emphasizing the beauty of the blade pattern. Once the blade is complete, attach it to the handle. The hilt is attached together with the scabbard to complete the sword. The wrapping around the handle is also a part where the craftsman's skill shines, and it affects the ease and beauty of the handle. Japanese swords embody the philosophy that the sword is the heart. This is the idea that when a craftsman creates a sword, he puts his soul and emotion into it. It is believed that a sword reflects the thoughts and skills of its maker, as well as his feelings at that moment. With this philosophy, the Japanese sword is not just a weapon, but a work of art and an expression of the soul. The Japanese sword embodies the philosophy of peace and harmony through the blade. There is an idea that the sharpness of a sword should not be used to quickly defeat an enemy, but rather as a means to avoid war and maintain harmony. This is one reason why Japanese swords are both beautiful and practical, and the philosophy behind them has been passed down as part of sword culture. The soul and passion of the craftsmen are essential to the production of Japanese swords. Blacksmiths have maintained generations of tradition and continued to hone their skills. Sword making is a product of patience and hard work, and the soul of the craftsman is reflected in the beauty and quality of the sword. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel to receive updates. Also, if you have any questions or comments about Japanese swords, please feel free to share them. Let me hear your voice. Did you learn about the depth of Japanese swords and appreciate their beauty and history? Japanese swords are highly regarded around the world, and their charm cannot be expressed in words. Please come and learn more about Japanese swords for yourself. See you in the next video.